So, Doc, we are going to very soon talk about the 3 levels of engagement, from the routing stage to the thinking and then the organizing. These are 3 levels. Doc, I personally have been for a long time in the routing stage. I'm migrating gradually to the thinking, but I've even said it was not good enough. I'm now seeing that there is another stage where without the effort, Doc, we've put in effort. Doc, there is nothing more frustrating than Peter said it in the Bible. He said, we worked all night and caught nothing.
Activity without productivity.
Doc, I'm telling you, we've put in effort, sweat. But we thought that more effort was more productivity.
No.
That's
right.
Yes, I read it. Doc. So I'm saying there's a young person watching us right now. It's like he wants to migrate. But in migration, his thought is by putting in more, he migrates.
Okay. Well, what I'm trying to say is that there are multiplicity of factors that come in when you want to excel.
Okay.
And relationship is one of them, and it's so significant. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the most important.
Good. So I want to be very clear.
Yeah.
Doc, there is a young person watching and listening to us who wants, what do I do to escape the rat race? That brings me to the right word. The rat race.
Sign up for our personal development.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
It's as simple as that, so that it can be taken
step by step.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people are generally lazy.
Okay.
Or people are generally uninterested.
Okay.
But I think the problem is people don't know what to do. But imagine people got to realize very early some of these things that we are talking about.
The young person who wants to better his lot can sign up. And the beautiful thing is that even if you cannot afford to pay for the course, there's provision made for you. So let's go online.
Apply.
Apply.
And then you have a discussion. So that's for you, listener, viewer. This is a good news for us. There's an open provision made for young people who are interested in seeing a quantum leap in your life. You've been at the possessionary caterpillar syndrome stage and you've been just going round in a rat race. It's never going to stop. I read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, and he talked about that rat race. He said he sat down in his chair as if it was so heavy, as if the whole world was on his shoulders, and he asked himself, how would he escape? Because he had done everything he knew how to do. He was a professional. He was a trained sandal maker, shoemaker. He was making the best shoes that the king even ordered from him, but he was just not getting out of the rat race. So he sat in his chair and asked him, how is he going to get out? So I think that's the question that young people are asking. People want to do something, but they just don't know what to do. I read from a coach who said the 3 things they ask their best athletes: what's the highest level you want to achieve? How badly do you want it? What are you willing to suffer for it?
Okay.
He said these are the 3 things. All the best athletes, these are the 3 things they ask them.
Yeah. So it's a certain kind of knowledge you need to be able to move yourself out of the rat race. Without that, a lot of people are working to be poor or poorer. Because when you are in a routing situation, it doesn't matter how much effort you put into it. You will never get yourself out. You must necessarily move out of routing into thinking and then to organizing. And indeed, you can move yourself from routing into organizing. Straight.
The world has changed. Essentially, everything has gone digital, including business cards. We are in the era of smart business cards. A smart business card is like a bank card. It has a microchip in it. A user needs just one. And with that special single smart business card, one can share and save contact details and more to a prospect's phone with just a single tap, with swag. For instance, you just show the smart business card to the person's phone and bingo, the contact details get transmitted wirelessly, correctly and instantly onto the person's phone. Someone calls it a miracle business card. Just go to searsap.com/SBC or scan the QR code and get free guidance.
I was going to treat personality types that has to do with personal development and relationships. Because there are different kinds of personality types.
Okay.
If we say relate with people, and you need to make friends, and you need to build relationships with people, but it's not everybody who likes people or likes to relate with people. They are phlegmatics, or they are cholerics, they are sanguines, and so on and so forth. So, how about that?
I know it's been very much popularized. Okay. But it's a post-facto rationalization.
Doc, break that down, let's see.
Okay. So you will look at certain characteristics of some group of people and you put a label on it.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that that's how the people are.
Yeah.
That's how the people are behaving at that point. Okay, so let's say that you are at a ball. If a lion appears here, what will happen?
You react.
How are you going to react?
In a way to save yourself.
Why wouldn't you say you're at a ball so you will stay there?
Because you're in danger.
Yes. So, nobody is phlegmatic 100%.
Okay, yeah, they agreed. I think they agreed.
Nobody is sanguine 100%. Nobody is choleric 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. It all depends on the circumstances or the situation. I don't like people boxing themselves into these silos. The moment you do that, you are preventing yourself from reaching your true potential. There are moments that you need to behave like this. There are other moments you need to behave like that. So you must be agile. You must be adaptable. You don't have to consign yourself into a particular box and say, that's for me. I am this. You are not that. It is only what you have learned to become. You can equally learn to become another thing. If that new other way or rather give you results. You are not a tree. You can't say that it's here that you've been planted, so you remain there.
Doc, I understand that there is nurturing, but what about the nature? Naturally, people are some way. Even, for example, if you say, maybe we put two people in a room, one is a sanguine and one is a phlegmatic or melancholic, and there's a lion, you would clearly see the difference between a sanguine and a melancholic, even in the reactions.
Even two sanguines will react
differently. Perfectly.
Because that's how life is, variety.
Okay, sure.
But don't consign yourself.
So what you are saying is, it may even be there, but
it's a learned behavior. It's something you've learned. Okay. You've not been sentenced to that for life. So you can learn another behavior.
Which is the nurturing part.
That's the nurturing part. The nurturing part always supersedes the nature.
You believe so?
Not just that I believe so. It's been proven time and again.
Okay.
That's why training beats talent any day. Yes, you can have natural disposition to be able to do certain things. But if you don't practice, if you don't train, the person who didn't have an idea but decided to learn and practice repeatedly will be better and beat you. Humans are not sentenced to their genetic makeup. Genetic makeup can be overrated by the environment.
Wow.
Yes.
This is interesting. So, Doc, in your description of the personality types, what roles do they have to play with respect to relationships and with respect to personal development and work creation?
Okay, so the whole point was to say that humanity has along the line created these boxes.
Okay.
So it's possible that by now you have decided to align yourself with one of them or more of them.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm saying that none of that matters. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
That these things by our social construct exist. But it's an imposition. It's a post-facto rationalization.
What about the idea that you rather than not dismissing it or whatever, but to maximize it? Because, for example, extensive research and work done to show the positives, the weaknesses, and opportunities that you can have out of this. What about looking at how the maximization rather could occur?
Okay. So I'll say it again.
Okay.
You see, life is very dynamic. You are not living in a very static world.
Okay.
For you to say that I am like this, and these are the opportunities that will come my way. So I'll apply it this way. Agility is what is required. So that if today the situation demands that you act this way, you dump everything you know about the silo you've been placed in and adapt to what the situation is requiring you to do. Because you have the capacity to do that. You cannot say that because I am this way, I cannot do that. The moment you do that, you are cheating yourself. You are hurting yourself. You are denying yourself the opportunity to excel. Sanguine, melancholic, phlegmatic, choleric, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Indeed, you and I can decide that we are coming out with another classification.
Yes.
If we popularize it, tomorrow people will be putting people in the boxes that we are going to create.
Definitely.
What does that mean? It means it was non-existent. And post-factorally, we created it. So don't allow yourself to remain within those boxes. There are times that a choleric behavior will be the most appropriate approach. There are times phlegmatic behavior will be the most appropriate approach. There are times sanguine behavior will be the most appropriate approach, and so on and so forth. Because life is dynamic. The situation you encounter is very dynamic. So you must adapt. That's why I'm talking about agility.
Yeah.
You must adapt.
Which I completely agree. So many of our listeners may probably have the conception or the understanding from source that nature works with nurturing to create our development and so on and so forth. You are not dismissing nature, but you are trying to say that even what nature has created, you can still maximize the weaknesses by nurturing. You can create.
Yeah, I don't see them as weaknesses. So I've shared before that the things we call weaknesses and strengths, they are relative.
Okay,
what you are calling as a weakness today will become a strength at another situation.
Good.
So the point I'm consistently trying to repeat is that don't box yourself.
Perfect.
Situations will demand a certain response. Just make sure you are giving out the best response
in that
context. That's
perfect. So I think basically that's what I'm trying to pass. That through nurturing,
yes,
you would realize that even what you may think in this situation, I'm weak in this situation, through nurturing, you can maximize it.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you are trying to stress that we should all master through nurturing your skill, which is neutral, the environment, which is neutral, but make sure that the outcome of where your environment is very clear to you so that you know how to, through nurturing, make the skill maximized.
That's it.
Yeah. So in all circumstances, you are always winning.
Good.
You are always going to win.
Don't label yourself as a sanguine,
this,
a choleric.
You are always, okay, I get it. Hey, Doc, people start the year with New Year resolutions.
So listeners should check out Blank Check.
Exactly. As you are planning your New Year resolutions, please check out Blank Check, and then it will help you to form a very good, positive, and then smart approach to your New Year 2025. Plus the discussions that we are having that do not put too many labels, but try to be as fluid as possible and seek to maximize every opportunity. Like Doc is saying, keep sharing the link and then keep comments coming.
The world has changed. Essentially, everything has gone digital, including business cards. We are in the era of smart business cards. A smart business card is like a bank card. It has a microchip in it. A user needs just one. And with that special single smart business card, one can share and save contact details and more to a prospect's phone with just a single tap, with swag. For instance, you just show the smart business card to the person's phone and bingo, the contact details get transmitted wirelessly, correctly and instantly onto the person's phone. Someone calls it a miracle business card. Just go to searsap.com/SBC or scan the QR code and get free guidance.
You know, all the kinds of work that we do in this world can be classified into one of these three. Exactly. What are these classifications?
The routing,
the thinking, and then the organizing. So, depending on the kind of work you do, it can be classified as a routing kind of work, or it can be classified as a thinking kind of work, or it can be classified as an organizing kind of work. What is a routing kind of work? A routing kind of work, it's any work that has a set of rudiments or a set of instructions that you just follow. Said that a machine could even be programmed to do it.
Okay.
So any work that does not involve creative thinking or organizing is called a routing. I'll give a very obvious example. A mason.
Okay.
You take the design from a designer, be it an architect or an engineer, and then you are building it. It's a routing kind of work. There isn't creative thinking in it.
No.
But everything is laid down. So you are just following. Any kind of work clearly laid out. You do this, you do that, you do that. Said that you can do it almost automatically without applying too much of creative thinking. It's a routing kind of work.
Okay.
You cannot necessarily place a label on every kind of work, but it all depends on whether these elements are present or not. But largely, certain kind of work often fall within the routing. Okay. Then we have the thinking kind of work, where you are required to apply creative thinking to solve problems. For instance, if a building is collapsing, and we need to prevent the collapse, engineers must come, analyze, do calculations, and determine the best way to prevent the building from collapsing, the most practical and economic. So you see that there's a lot of thoughts that needs to go to solve that particular situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a thinking kind of work. And a lot of work are like
it's like that.
Okay. And indeed, that's what the educated middle class is really, really supposed to be doing. Yeah. And if we were really doing it, a lot of our problems would have been solved as a country. That tells you that even though the middle class is supposed to be doing thinking work, a lot of them are doing routing work, irrespective of the label or the qualification and then the title they are carrying. Then we have the organizing. The organizing is just putting together thinkers, routers, and giving them a goal or a vision to work towards. So you yourself are not the one doing the thing. You have the idea of what to achieve, and you just get the thinkers and the routers to put their skills together to do it. So sometimes the organizing work may involve organizing resources. Sometimes you are not even the one to organize resources. You can find thinkers and routers to organize their resources. Okay. So someone like Henry Ford was basically an organizer because he I don't think he spent more than 3 months in school.
You know the famous story that he had some university students challenge him that why is he so rich, but he doesn't deserve to be rich. They have been to school.
See the mindset of the middle class.
They have been to school and they are engineers and they are scientists and this thing. So they came and he actually gave them audience and he said, okay, all of you have a seat. So they sat there, he sat behind his table. He said, I learned you want to interview me. He said, yes. They were so arrogant that they said, we don't know why you are rich. Why should you be rich when we are not so rich? And we have gone through all the schooling and all that. He said, is it my fault? And I said, okay, so we came to show you that you don't deserve the kind of what you have. We deserve it. And he said, okay, go ahead. So he said, we want to ask you a few questions. Then they started. What is the tensile capacity?
He doesn't need to know that.
when they ask him, then he writes it down. And this one to ask him, what's the capacity diameter of your catalyst of your car? This thing, he wrote it. What's the number of bolts needed for this? He wrote it. They said, you're not answering the question. He said, have you finished your question? He said, so they asked, he wrote all of them. He said, are you done? He said, yes. He said, we are waiting for the answers. He said he has about 20 phones on his desk. If he picks one phone, he said, engineer, how are you? Are you there? What's the tensile capacity of this? And the person will say, then you answer.
Simple.
What's the this? The person said, no. Simple. No, that's not what we want. He said, we want you to answer it for us. So he said, you know what he told them? He said, what you don't know is, I reserve my mind to think. That's the only job I do. That's why I'm richer than you.
So you see the mindset of the middle class. Entitlement mentality. Okay. So they cannot readily move out of that.
This is serious. This class is the class that schools are preparing people to be in.
Yes.
So the school is enslaving the people.
Yes. But you have been mentioning Robert Kiyosaki a lot.
Exactly.
So you know about that.
Exactly.
Yes. We are sentimental about some of these things. That's the only reason why we fail to see the reality. Okay.
Are you serious?
But that's why our discussions are with consequences. But it's not for everybody.
No.
It's just for a few people who are prepared to move out of the rat race and be helped to do that. Now, we have the poor, the middle class, and the rich. Interestingly, this classification of work map onto the classification of wealth. Routers end up poor, thinkers end up middle class, organizers end up rich. Of course, in the course, we go deeper. Because, for example, the middle class can be subdivided into upper middle, lower middle. Even the poor can be divided into those in financial crisis, those in financial instability.
The rich too.
The rich can be divided into financially
independent,
financially free, and all the rest of them.
Listeners, viewers, I'm sure you are as amazed as I am as we watch this. And Doc, we really appreciate this once again. But Doc, we want you to give us your final words. The audience are waiting for you.
Wow. Listener, there's so much you can achieve. In fact, being with us even demonstrates the kind of mindset you already have. Because if you don't have the correct mindset, you can't stick and stay with us up until this time in this presentation. So thumbs up. But you need to be guided systematically through the journey properly so that you can be well prepared, not waste too much effort. You can achieve so far above what you can imagine. Avail yourself and let's help you. God bless you.
Wow, this is so lovely. God bless you, listeners, viewers. We're excited. We hope that you enjoyed the show. We trust that your comments will keep coming. Let's keep engaging. If you post that after the show, you can always get in touch with us. Live coaching is available. Courses are available. Books are available. Resources are available. Seminars and all. So please don't stay back. Let nothing hold you back. We're entering a new year. We're getting to the holiday season. Put your acts together and let's together travel the road of personal development. God bless you.
The world has changed. Essentially, everything has gone digital, including business cards. We are in the era of smart business cards. A smart business card is like a bank card. It has a microchip in it. A user needs just one. And with that special single smart business card, one can share and save contact details and more to a prospect's phone with just a single tap. With swag. For instance, you just show the smart business card to the person's phone and bingo, the contact details get transmitted wirelessly, correctly and instantly onto the person's phone. Someone calls it a miracle business card. Just go to searsap.com/SBC or scan the QR code and get free guidance.